Hello, everyone. GM, welcome to Shardeum's February 2024 update, and welcome to the bull market. I'm sure our viewer count is up right now as crypto's hot at the moment. It's a great time for everyone who's a personal holder of crypto assets as the market is up, but it's a bad time for developers trying to build new use cases because gas prices are also up. So today we're excited to talk about Shardeum's progress over the last quarter as we move one step closer to a layer one with no fee market. So no matter how high the price of Shardeum's coin goes, the cost of a transaction should be low and stable forever. Today we'll discuss the progress we've made in the past quarter or the past month, such as updates in all areas of the Shardeum Foundation. We'll discuss, most importantly, the remaining steps to mainnet, and we're here to answer any questions you have. Throughout this presentation, please post your questions in the YouTube chat, and we'll get to them at the end of the presentation. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Shardeum Foundation's co-founder and president, Nischal Shetty.
Thanks, Greg. Hey, everyone. Like Greg said, I think I'm guessing your day's been going on well, and maybe this is turning out to be a great week for all of you. I think with Bitcoin reaching almost touching the last bull run's all-time high, I think there's a lot of euphoria in the market now, and everyone's bullish on all of the crypto projects. And with that, we're also seeing some of the bottlenecks that are, sort of preventing the growth of this ecosystem, largely to do with the scalability issues that some of the networks are already facing. So I think that's where Shardeum comes in, and now the entire team is racing towards getting you to the incentivized testnet and then to the mainnet. So yep. Feb was a really great month for us. We crossed a milestone in our Shardeum is Borderless program. We've now had over 500 guest posts, which I think is amazing. And this has come from people around 47 countries in 36 languages. We've also seen over 70,000 participants in our blockchain quiz. There are 10 quizzes that people can take, and we've seen over 70,000 people taking those quizzes. Proof of community has been going really well. We've had over 18 events across 12 cities, and this spanned 7 countries, largely India, Nigeria, Malaysia, Singapore, South Korea, Uganda, and Kenya. And we had about over 650 participants across our proof of community events. We held our first proof of community in Malaysia in Feb, and that went well. The idea is to increase the number of countries where we run our proof of community events, and expect more new countries to be added to the list of 7 countries that we are on now. In terms of social media, we've been seeing a surge in our engagement and followers, and we've been running quizzes across our social media channels. We've had a few good Twitter Spaces. There's Shardeum University, which was launched recently, and we had Twitter Spaces around that. Uh, the idea is to invite founders who can engage with the community and discuss about their projects and educate everyone about what each of these founders are building. Um, we had a very interesting milestone on Discord. We crossed over 600,000 members now, and we've got quite a few media coverage across various news outlets where Shardeum was mentioned. We had some op-ed pieces going out. We had interviews from of different Shardeum team members. So yeah, overall, I think Feb has been good. Let's look at the metrics now. Um, so if you look at the metrics, our website traffic has seen a tremendous boost, over 18% increase compared to Jan. Our blog traffic has been really amazing. We saw over 245% increase in traffic. Same with the newsletters, or a 150% increase. Our events, POC events, I think we did two less. I would blame it on Feb having two days less. Otherwise, I think POC also turned out really well. Twitter followers have been growing amazing. We had some partnerships that worked out really well to help us grow our Twitter accounts. So I think the objective is to continue to grow these metrics, and I think with the markets entering a bull phase, I think we'll see our metrics grow even faster. What's coming up next is we're planning proof of community events in two new countries. One is UAE, where it'll be held in Dubai, and the other is in Thailand. We will also have a proof of community at ETH Vietnam. So if you're attending ETH Vietnam, please register for the proof of community event that we'll be organizing. Our incentivized testnet, that's what the team is working on right now, and we intend to launch that very soon. That's about it. I'll hand this over to Kelsey, who will talk about our efforts in the US and Europe region.
Great. Thank you so much. And hi, everyone. I'm Kelsey McGuire, CGO over here at Shardeum. I'm coming to you from a very gray New York City today, but we had a phenomenal February. We are up 30% in total US-based visits to our website, and that we're up over 315% from October. So it's really exciting to see the traction. All of these kind of PR efforts and events and pieces that we've been working off are really, really starting to pay off. We just got back from a very, very productive ETH Denver. We got a spork whale here. We partnered with Stanford Blockchain. I was able to moderate a panel with the CTO of Wallet Connect and the CTO of Ledger. We had a brunch that was very successful with Struck Crypto, Zero Hash, and Edge of NFT with over 110 attendees. We were able to kind of solidify some different relationships and partnerships there and meet some members of the media. So that was a very, really productive, excellent event that we were able to collaborate on. We recorded a podcast on the ground at ETH Denver that should come out in the next couple of weeks. And another one of my op-eds was also published. So exciting month for us. I would say next we're at Digital Asset Summit this March in London. So if you are attending, please do reach out. I'll be speaking, we'll be having meetings, and other members of the team, Shahzad and Greg, will be there as well. We have some placements coming out with Blockworks, a website takeover as well as part of that collaboration. Another newsletter with Milk Road will be coming out as well. So if you are subscribed, check your inboxes for that. And we're building on a lot of relationships with our university program as well here in the US and also in Europe. So thanks, everyone, and I'm going to throw it over to Shahzad next.
Thank you very much, Kelsey. Good evening, good morning, everyone who's online watching, listening to us. It's a pleasure to be here again. As Kelsey mentioned, we had a fabulous event at ETH Denver. One of the events we hosted, we basically, as part of our last mile, we're getting listed on most of the major exchanges. And we had 4 of our exchange partners come in and meet with us. And following that, we've got agreements from all of them. So there are some major announcements coming in the next few weeks. I'm going to let PR do that instead of me taking their thunder. But we've got some extremely exciting news, coming at that end. So listing is starting, and we should be marching towards that, galloping towards that rather. Also, as part of our last mile, we have just completed 2 of our external security audits, and the reports should be out soon. So we're working towards that, getting the bugs fixed, which have been identified. And following that, we would be announcing a very large bug bounty program. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. This is going to be extremely exciting. We're looking for the community to support us with white hat hacking, and we look forward to ensure that the product, when launched, is absolutely bug-free. So thank you once again in advance for your support at that end. Some of our next events which are upcoming, like I mentioned, the exchange contracts are being finalized. We have a very big event coming up in partnership with one of our major cloud providers, and we look forward to announcing that very soon. That would be in Vegas. This should be a hint. It's in April, but more announcements will follow very, very soon. So once again, thank you very much for tuning on with us. And with that, I hand it over to Jeremy, who heads our people ops. Thanks.
Thanks, Shahzad. Might have to drive over and hang out with you in Vegas next month. Some quick announcements for people ops here. So we are now a team of 66 with 3 new team members joining us this past February. Also, we've continued to expand our ecosystem partners like job board. Right now, 426 open roles, 15 ecosystem partners that we're helping promote and spread awareness around, and we'll actually be looking to double that over the next couple of weeks. So keep your eyes peeled to that. I'll be opening up a lot more roles there for the ecosystem. And yeah, as always, we're always posting new jobs that we're or new careers here at Shardeum that we're open to having the community apply for. So please apply and reach out to anyone. Reach out to us at people@shardeum.org. And for anyone in Tokyo or in Japan, I'll be co-hosting a Proof of Community event later this month, which we'll send out an announcement about. Please join. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Next slide. There we go. So as you can hear from other people, we are marching towards the ITN launch incentivized testnet. And that means that we are crossing I's, dotting T's, landing features, kicking tires and seeing the axle brakes and make sure that it's all going to be awesome. Part of that is also launching our open source initiatives. And there's a lot of work that's being done in the background. We're writing the READMEs, creating documentation, writing our code of conduct, contributors guidelines, and all the foundational stuff that's required to make sure that people can dive straight in and contribute to this project so it truly becomes community driven. So obviously that launch is up and coming. You'll definitely hear about us. And part of what you will be hearing is our 2 new team members, which is Sonia, who joined as a developer program engineer, who's more focused on the technical part around issues, PRs, writing SDKs, helping developers to be successful. And we've got Kenny joining, who's joined as a developer advocate, who will be doing a lot of community initiatives, including starting next week, we'll be doing a build in the open, where on Discord and other live streaming platforms, we will hack cool tools together that the network needs. And we invite you to join us to either contribute, ask questions, or give us feedback as it's happening. So exciting times ahead.
Thanks, Chris. Super excited to have more developer events, activities, content for the developer community to participate in, especially as it relates to open source work. In February, Shardeum University launched. That was really exciting. Shout out to Sandipan Kundu on our team for driving this project forward and getting it launched. To date, there's been over 2,800 users that have participated in the courses of Shardeum University. It's really exciting where this can go in the future. Having other infrastructure partners work with us to create educational content on how to build on Shardeum using their infrastructure, and being able to, educate devs on new topics like parallelized application architectures. Although it's just a learning management system, the content that we can add to it over time and, the opportunity to align it with proof of community will be exciting. Really excited to share that there have been 2 teams building on Shardeum's testnet that have already done 6 figures in revenue. We're really excited about supporting founders like you and helping you launch the product that you're thinking of every day after work about building. We're excited about working closely with you to help you launch that product, help promote your products on Shardeum, and help you become a successful business and turn your ideas into reality. There's already 2 great teams that have done that with Shardeum. Mintair, which is a one-click validator hosting product that started on Shardeum first, and we helped them with a successful launch. Also, .shm, which is a domain name product for Shardeum, has sold 6 figures in pre-registrations for SHM domains on Polygon. There are several ecosystem projects that have started building on Shardeum in the past month, including NodeOps, which is also a validator hosting product, Nerve Network, which is a cross-chain bridge. There's a few other projects not listed here as well, like Tegro, which is a order book, a decentralized order book, KiloX, which is a peer-to-pool DeFi product, and there is also Tonex, formerly known as Brian Finance, which is a high-frequency trading order book targeting institutional traders. They raised about 17 million in pre-Series A funding backed by VCs like Spartan Group. So really excited to have these teams building on Shardeum and run campaigns with them on our incentivized testnet. Currently, there's 175 ecosystem projects that have submitted our ecosystem form and declared they are currently live on Shardeum or will be live soon. We're really excited about our sponsorship with SRM Chennai this semester. We're sponsoring the students at SRM Chennai because we've identified them as one of the most active university developer groups in Web3 throughout India. They had a great presence at ETH India. There's a lot of awesome products coming out of SRM Chennai. They love to build. Mintair came from SRM Chennai. There's a videography and podcast production studio called Beta Studio, I believe, from SRM Chennai. There's a wallet called Perfo. So SRM Chennai really aligns with our upcoming founder marketing campaign called Born to Build. We feel the students at SRM Chennai themselves are born to build. So super excited to be working with them. With that, we're sponsoring SRM's Layers Hackathon from March 12th to 13th. If you're a developer and you're looking for opportunities to have fun, make money, gain experience building on Shardeum, and connect with our team, that's a great hackathon to attend. And if you're looking to build a product on Shardeum, participating in hackathons is also a great way to get the attention of our team and gain our support to help you, bring your ideas into reality. Another exciting hackathon we're sponsoring is Encode Club's Scaling Web3 Hackathon. We have an introduction to Shardeum presentation featuring a few members of our team on March 14th, a developer workshop on March 24th, and the hackathon running from March 25th through the 21st of April. I think there's around over $5,000 in prizes available to developers in this hackathon. So also a really fun event to participate in. As we get closer to mainnet, we're super focused on, expanding our developer presence and growing the developer community building on Shardeum by giving you various activities to participate in. Last but not least, look out for new Shardeum University courses launching this month. That's the ecosystem update. Up next, we have Shardeum's tech co-founder, Omar, for technology updates.
All right, thank you, Greg. this March is kind of an important month for me. So it was actually in March of 2016 that I dropped everything I was doing and started to focus on the design of a sharded distributed ledger. So it's been like 8 years now, and we're still focused on that original mission, and we'll continue to stay focused on it until we deliver. So we're here to stay. This is not a project that we start and then after the hype kind of wears out, we leave it. We're actually here to build some really amazing technology, and if you've been with the project, some of the amazing things that we're accomplishing, and we're almost there. We've been working on it for a long time, but now we're starting to get near that finish line. We're shooting to get our incentivized testnet out soon, and with that out, and then once that's been vetted and tested and made more solid, we'll get to a point where we can launch our mainnet. So in the near term, some of the things that we have coming up is basically getting our testnet out, and so that's going to be called Atomic. That's our incentivized testnet. Getting that out, testing it, and we'll really need the community's help on that. We'll be putting out bug bounties, to help us find any securities and vulnerability issues in that, and really make that a really good user experience for everybody. And once we feel comfortable with that, we will be going to our mainnet. We're also going to be, hopefully next month, showing you some DAO features that we're building, because we've always had this vision of the Shardeum network eventually being handed over to a DAO, and and right now we have the foundation basically coordinating it, but in the future we want the community and to be able to define the future and of the project, and a DAO will be really important for that. So we're actually incorporating some of these DAO features into Shardeum. We're also working on getting the technical white papers out. We've already got a sort of a community white paper that kind of talks about the project, but even though it touched on some of the technical aspects, it didn't dwell into the deeper protocols and things behind the tech. So we're going to be putting out some technical white papers soon. And I may have already mentioned we do have like some patents that we've already filed for Shardeum, and we intend to do them as defensive patents. So those are already out. And also another thing we're going to be focusing on in the near future is open sourcing more of the code, and so that'll help people get more eyes on the code, look at the code, and help us find any issues and vulnerabilities and start contributing to the code as well. So that's what we're looking forward to. One last thing, our BetaNet is back online. This is going to be BetaNet version 1.10.1. We're really sorry about the inconvenience of the network being down for a little bit of time there recently, and we really appreciate your patience while we were working to get that back up. We've restored the network, so there's no data lost there. And I just want to say that restoring a sharded network is actually something that's really hard to do, and I think we're probably the only project that's actually demonstrated that we can restore a sharded network from scratch and not lose any data. And so we'll need the community to continue testing this network, and report any issues that you find with it, and help us get the network to a point where it's really smooth and easy for everyone to use. And like I said, once BetaNet looks good, we're going to go to our incentivized testnet, which is going to be called Atomic. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mark and Andrew.
Hey, everybody. I'll keep my part short because I know Andrew has some technical details. As Omar mentioned, 1.10.1 is live. The team worked really hard all of last week dealing with critical fixes that the community helped us find, and also improving our process for restoring a much larger network than we had done in the past, because 1.10.0 was about 3 to 4 times larger than the prior largest network we had launched. So we made a lot of improvements there as well. We were also working, as was mentioned, with third-party security auditors and their reports, so we can get the fixes in and make Shardeum as secure as possible. The dev team is done adding feature complete roadmap features. We're fully working on incentivized testnet, blocker bugs, fixes, and security bug fixes until the incentivized testnet launch and the mainnet launch. And wanted to remind everyone that the community participation is super important. It's actually critical for finding some issues that we just can't reproduce in a lab. And we really appreciate all of your participation and support helping us to make this a better product. We'll go ahead and hand it over to Andrew now.
All right, thanks, Mark. So recently we've made several improvements to our cycle making system. This is the system that allows validators to coordinate with each other and also keep track and handle the rotation with standby validators. We ran several relaunch tests and iterated on restoring 1,000 node networks, and this helped us find some code fixes and improvements, and also process improvements. So pretty happy with the results there, and we did use that restore for this network that's up now. The primary tech focus now is working on just the fixes we need to launch the incentivized testnet, and then there is also some work going on to continue protocol and code hardening, and also just additional tools for investigation purposes and automation, testing automation. So that's the tech update, and I'll hand it back over to Greg now. Thanks.
Thanks, Mark and Andrew, for all the great updates. I think we were reviewing airdrop eligibility criteria, and although I probably won't be rewarded as part of the airdrop since I work here on the team, they found that I was in the top 0.1% of eligible users. I've been using our testnet every day since the very first testnet launched, and it's really great to see how much improvement in the UX there has been of the product. It's not perfect yet, but getting much closer to mainnet, so super excited about that. Now we'll go ahead and answer any questions the community has. I think Nischal, the first question, is there a reward for testnet?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we already announced a draft, version of the reward mechanism that we've devised, and we've been accepting a lot of feedback from the community, and now the team is working on making that more into incorporating these feedback in, and the idea is to share a final version of the reward system for the AlphaNet and the BetaNet, and we will also share the reward mechanism for the incentivized testnet. Now, I think just looking at the questions, one of the questions is when will we announce this? I think the finalized version of the reward process will be for the previous versions, which is the AlphaNet and the BetaNet, would be announced after we launch the incentivized testnet. So right now you're still in the process. If you're running nodes, you're still getting to be part of the BetaNet airdrop program. So I would suggest you to continue running nodes on the testnet and using the various dApps that are deployed, sending transactions to other wallets in the ecosystem. That'll help you be part of the pre-mainnet, pre-incentivized testnet program. And the incentivized testnet program, again, when we launch the incentivized testnet, we'll also, along with that, announce what the incentivized testnet reward system looks like. So yeah, it's going to come soon. The first objective is to get the network ready for the incentivized testnet. And with that, we'll share all of the information with you.
Thanks, Nischal. Omar, because there's been some time between 1.10.0 and 1.10.1, people have checked in on the status of their validators and are asking when the nodes can come back online.
Yeah, actually, we just kind of announced it now. We didn't officially announce 1.10.1. We thought we would announce it officially at this community update event. But yeah, today we'll put out the official announcement, and people will be able to start joining the network, the validators. And I think some people have already discovered it, and we are already seeing some nodes out there.
Awesome. Yeah, some people have noticed updates to the Explorer and seen different, I think, validator states like syncing, joining, active, apoptized, etc. Could you explain what those different states are for the validator?
Yeah, for sure. There's various phases that a node goes through in its life cycle of participating in the Shardeum network. Initially, you start out as just an external node that the network doesn't even know about, but then your node submits a request to join the network, and that once that's processed, after checking that you've staked properly and so forth, once that's accepted, then your node is added to a standby list. So then, your status of your node is standby. And periodically, nodes are rotated out. So some of the older nodes are removed from the network, and those nodes are replaced with nodes that are randomly selected from the standby list. And so then when a node is selected to become an active validator, it can't just immediately become active and start participating. It has to first synchronize with the rest of the network. And in particular, it only needs to synchronize with the other nodes that are in the shard where it's going to be contributing. So that actually saves a lot of data that the node doesn't have to download the whole network state. It only needs to get partial state data there. And also, it doesn't actually have to go through all the historical data to synchronize. It can just synchronize on a state that's been proved with hashes. And so once the node has synchronized, it then puts out a transaction that says, hey, I'm ready to go active. And then the network will select some of the nodes that are ready to go active and turn them on as needed, so that we don't have this huge fluctuations of nodes just coming in at unpredictable times. So the network now, very smoothly controls how many nodes are active in the network. And then after that, there can be situations where a node is having difficulties and the network recognizes that this node is not able to keep up, especially if you use very low grade hardware to try to run the node. It may not have enough CPU to keep up with the processing. And so the network has a protocol to detect nodes and remove them from the network. So the node could get marked as lost. And then there's other times when a node wants to leave the network, so it can put out a message that, hey, I want to apoptosize. Basically, that's a term from biology when a cell wants to kill itself. And so with that, then the node can leave the network. So those are the various different states.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great to see, more granular analytics of these states in the Explorer. So you just described all the node states. Now a community member wants to know if only active nodes will be eligible for the airdrop.
I think.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah. So at least for the phase one of the airdrop for the AlphaNet and BetaNet participants, we are not really looking at whether your node was active or standby. So all you had to do was participate in being part of the network, and you're eligible. So the short answer is no, it's not just active. Even standby nodes are considered. For the incentivized testnet, we are still considering how do we go about it. Maybe we'll stick to the same concept, which is whether you're active or standby. Even in the incentivized testnet, we may consider that, but it's still not decided. Happy to get your feedback. If you guys think it should be only active validators in the incentivized testnet, or where it's a little bit on luck then, because the network randomly selects standby nodes. Or do you think we should just reward everyone, irrespective of whether they were in active state or standby? Let us know, and based on that, we'll probably tweak it accordingly. But in the AlphaNet and the BetaNet, the reason why we did not really stick to only active was because we knew that this is a testing phase where things will break and there'll be bugs, and we did not want to have someone at a disadvantage because of those bugs. So we decided that irrespective of your node status, you would be considered to be eligible.
Yeah, I just want to mention that sometimes these kind of decisions are not as simple as they might appear, because there's a lot of game theory stuff that can come in, and if you give rewards to nodes, even if they were only in standby, you could get situations where people maybe create a lot of nodes that only go to standby and never run long enough to become active. And so you do have to be a little bit careful about how you do these things, because there's unintended consequences of some of these decisions. So
yeah, I was in ETH Denver last week, and there's a lot of talk about popular narratives in the market right now and new products launching, but one of my biggest takeaways is how popular airdrop farming is right now. I mean, these people have inspired me to have a part-time job as an airdrop farmer, because an example is one of our investors has this intern that created a script to do a popular testnet project's NFT mint last week. And the script minted 5,000 NFTs as a part of that campaign. And this intern does all of the airdrops, and in one of them, he made around $500,000. So everyone is going crazy about these airdrops at the moment. Our friends at Galaxy just reached their all-time high in the user activity on Galaxy. with, like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to share the metric, but over 500,000 active users on their website at a time. So Shardeum's incentivized testnet is going to be super popular. And I've looked at a few of these testnet campaigns. What's cool about Shardeum's is there's so many on-chain activities that you can participate in. So there will be a lot to do. But I think this is a really great question to address and for both of you to answer. We'll start with Nischal. There's so many exciting things about Shardeum, but the testnet has been live for a while now, and the market's hot. Everyone wants Shardeum's mainnet to launch, but the network has gone through some instability challenges, and we're getting closer to mainnet, but everyone's waiting for that moment where the network launches and it's stable and everything's working properly as expected. What are like the biggest blockers or challenges for Shardeum to get to that point?
Yeah, I think, look, I think in terms of objectives, I think everyone's aligned in this same direction, which is the faster we get to the mainnet, the better. Having said that, I think there's also this, the fact that Shardeum is a brand new blockchain, and we can't just simply, take it to mainnet in a hurry. We need to make sure that we have a robust system in place, and there's a lot of testing that should go before Shardeum can launch on the mainnet. Having said that, I think our several months was spent on feature building, and we had a roadmap, and we completed all those features. And now we've just been focused on bringing in stability and scalability and the security audits. So we just completed our security audits from two auditors, and we got those reports. And the next step is to work on those security issues that are critical and severe. And in parallel, with the help of the community, as you find any bugs and any issues, the team will be rapidly working on fixing those. Now, this time the speed will be even faster than before, because before what used to happen is you found a bug, and sure, we have to solve that, but in parallel, we also had to build features. So it's a race, and it's a decision between, do we continue building this must-have feature, or do we switch to solving bugs? So there was a lot of context switching, versus now what happens is the team is completely focused on the existing network. What you see right now, the 1.10.1 is a feature complete network. So the team is just focused on solving issues, and you'll see that rapidly all the bugs that you report will get fixed, which means I think we're just a few weeks away from, I would say, being able to achieve complete stability. But I would also like to add, I think the last, if not months, at least the last several weeks, all of the different versions have worked out really well. What we used to experience before was the network used to crash, and we've completely changed from there to the network being able to sustain itself, even if there's a higher error rate. So I think we've really come a long way from, let's say, where we were 3 to 4 months ago. And the objective is, and that speed has been amazing. And now you'll see the speed increasing even further in terms of our time to fix the bugs and time to reach stability. So yeah, I think the incentivized, we're just one hurdle away, which is the incentivized testnet, and then it's a mainnet. So yeah, these are the only two things remaining right now.
Thanks, Nischal. Omar, from a technology perspective, what's the reasoning behind the product roadmap timeline and the major hurdles to get to mainnet?
Yeah, I mean, like Nischal mentioned, we're now at a point where we're like feature complete. There's only very small little things that we're adding in terms of like any new capabilities, but it's mostly focused on just polishing, just making sure the network is smooth, addressing any issues that come up and fixing those things. And then of course, security is one really big area. So I think that is going to be our really big focus now, where we want to address all of the issues that have been that get reported by the community to our bug bounty program. We want to address any issues that auditors bring up. So all these things are the next big push. While we're doing that, we're also going to be doing some scalability testing on the network, hitting it with our own loads and so forth, and seeing how that goes. And that may, show us some other, issues. And we'll just be focused on, getting these security and scalability issues and just the whole user experience really good and smooth. And I think that's really our biggest gap, right, between the incentivized testnet and going to mainnet. So yeah, once that looks good, we're ready to go to mainnet.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah, just wanted to double click on what Nischal mentioned about it being a custom blockchain, to make sure everyone has conviction and, the reason and time, the reason behind why we're investing so much time into this pre-mainnet roadmap is because we're trying to solve problems that haven't been solved yet. And when Shardeum solves these scaling challenges for Web3, it'll enable new user experiences that you can't find on any other network. And so, sharding's full potential hasn't been unlocked yet by any blockchain. It's been tried many times, but no one has successfully achieved it. So when you're building a custom network that's sharded, you run into a lot of challenges other projects haven't been able to solve. We're very dedicated to solving those projects so we can advance the scalability of layer 1 blockchains in Web3. There's been a lot of great, achievements of the products to look out for that we've, accomplished in our testnet phase so far. For example, installing a validator on Shardeum has been said many times as the easiest install experience of any blockchain's validator. And there's been over 30,000 validators run and staked by our community members in the network at one time. So it's really great to see, a unique L1 that's launching mainnet soon. That's not a permissioned network, it's permissionless, and anyone can run a validator very easily. Also, although the network has faced some bugs and downtime, when the network does work well, you can see that although the network is sharded, you aren't aware that the network is sharded. There's no additional complexity to using the network. It's as simple as using your MetaMask wallet and setting a transaction just like any other EVM network. So there's been a lot of great positive signs from Shardeum's testnet, and our team is very focused on solving all remaining bugs and completing the security work. So, that positivity you've seen in the past is what you experience all the time when we launched mainnet. And you'll know this wasn't a project that was an overnight success. This was something that we had to invest years to build and bring to market, and it's going to significantly advance the capabilities of this industry once the mainnet is live. So very exciting times, and as we go through these remaining months to get to the mainnet launch. Nischal, do we have any anti-Sybil attack measures in place for the airdrop?
We are working on that. When you think about the way blockchains work, and the fact that there's no, I'd say, gatekeepers as such, and there's no KYCs and stuff on chain, it gets really hard to be able to prevent these similar attacks 100%. But what you can do is you can build in I would say some sort of guardrails that help eliminate as much as possible, and that's what many of the projects are trying to do. Some do it well and some do it really bad. I think what we've been doing is trying to also figure out, learn from all of the efforts that have gone into in previous testnets of different projects, take the good parts of that, and at the same time, we also want to make sure that it does not inconvenience our community, because we've seen some projects where it goes to a level where forget the airdrop farmers. An individual person can't go through those steps to then make a transaction on chain. So we want to make sure that we keep it simple, so that the larger community can participate, but at the same time bring in some guardrails such that airdrop farming is not really possible, so that individuals who really spend the time and efforts testing out the network get rewarded. So we do have a few ideas in place, and what we are also trying to do is split the initiatives into different I would say campaigns with different providers. So instead of just just Shardeum doing it, we are partnering with a few other ecosystem partners to run many of the campaigns on the incentivized testnet. So yeah, there's a lot of efforts being put into ensuring that individuals who participate have a fair chance at getting the rewards during the incentivized testnet, and always happy to get more feedback. If you guys have any ideas where you've participated before and seen that it definitely helps in preventing these attacks, do let us know. We are always open to new feedback and new ideas.
Thanks, Nischal. And the final question is, what's the updated timeline for incentivized testnet in mainnet?
So I think the incentivized testnet we are aiming for this month, and the actual date for the time for the mainnet will be a function of how the incentivized testnet I would say turns out in terms of what are the bugs that get discovered, and what are the security issues that get uncovered. We just got the audit report for the security audits, so I think we want to focus on the incentivized testnet, which will be this month. And if things go well, I think we'll need a few weeks after the incentivized testnet to get everything ready and push to the mainnet. If I don't want to put a date right now, because we are in a situation where it's going to be very hard to predict. It could take a few weeks. It could take less than that. But it's all a function of the incentivized testnet going live. So let the incentivized testnet go live, and the team is pushing for that, and then we'll be in a better position to give you a more I would say concrete timeline. But yeah, I think right now we just focus on the incentivized testnet. That's the last major milestone for us before we'll be able to objectively then look at how things are going and put a date to the mainnet as well.
Awesome. Any final comments for the community, Nischal and Omar?
I think we are grateful to everyone, and we're also amazed at the kind of response that we get for every version, and we hope to continue working with all of you to get Shardeum to a stage where it's ready for the mainnet. The good part is all of you are part of this journey, and building such innovative projects that can really change the status quo in the ecosystem, And the status quo today is, if you think about it, is that centralization is affordable and decentralization is expensive. And the idea with Shardeum is, how do you turn this around, where decentralization gets affordable as well, and that's a hard problem to solve, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. And I think a lot of our community members understand that, and which is why they've been so enthusiastic and pushing for this. And please continue providing us with feedback, with bug reports. We get so many feedbacks which has helped us shape the product into what it is. And I think we are in that last mile where we just have to race to the finish line. So yeah, looking forward to your support as always.
Yeah, definitely want to kind of reiterate the fact that the community has been such a great asset for the project. Without your help, there's a lot of things that we would not have discovered with our software, and it's because you guys are running so many nodes and running more nodes than we ever expected. That we're uncovering things, and those some of those things have actually caused us to have to go back to the drawing board and re-architect some of our protocols. So it's been amazing help that you've provided, whether you realize it or not, because a lot of these things are just kind of under the hood. You don't visibly see it, but there's a lot of changes that are happening within the network, and with each release the network is getting better and better, and we're on track to get an incredibly amazing product out there. And we really want everybody to join us in that journey. So yeah, thanks everyone.
Awesome, Nischal and Omar. Thank you everyone for being here today. As we mentioned, 1.10.1, the Sphinx Network 1.10.1 is live. Go use it. We're about to announce it on socials now. With that, thanks so much for being here today. You'll now have 5 minutes to prove your participation in this event with Shardeum's POAP. You can scan the QR code or go to the link at the bottom of the slide. And who knows what rewards or utility this may have in the future. Thanks so much for your time, everyone. Have a great day and enjoy the bull run.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.